everyone, Crystal from Etched Vinyl here. One of the tumblers I get asked about the most is dragon scale. I'm so excited to finally sit down and show you guys how it's done. Here are the supplies that you will need. Cups are prepped just a little bit differently. We're going to sand it like we usually do, but we're going to skip the spray paint and we're going to go straight into double-sided tape. When I put my double-sided tape on, I like to start on the bottom of the cup. And when I put it on, I like to leave just a little bit of a gap right here at the end of the cup. And the cup styles may vary, but mine has a little bit of a curve. It doesn't come to an exact point at the bottom of the cup. So you don't want to put your scales too low on this type because then they're going to stick straight out. They're not going to bend with the cup and it just makes it really difficult to try and get them to bend. So I leave just a tiny bit of a space, and this is where we'll start the scale instead of bending with the cup. And the tape is kind of flexible. You can tug and pull it, try and keep it straight. I like to push it down as I go along. You'll get bubbles and wrinkles in this white backing part. Don't worry about that. As long as you push the tape down nice and good, you'll be fine. I personally prefer this method versus Mod Podge or any other type of glue to put the scales on because I find it's pretty messy, whereas the tape is quick and easy. And then you're going to take your X-Acto knife once you get all the way around and meet where we started, and we're just going to slice it. And it's okay if you have a little bit of a gap, don't worry about that. And then we'll just keep working our way all the way to the top of the cup. Now get to the rim as close as you can. If your tape is too wide, don't worry about it. I ordered a variety pack from Amazon. I'll show you guys in the link below or in the description below. If you don't have a skinnier width to put right here, just go ahead and wait, because when we put the scales on, we're going to start on the bottom of the cup and work our way up. So as we get there, we'll pull all the backings off. And once we pull this top backing off, then we can lay another piece of tape right here. So don't worry about that until we get to the top. Now I'm going to flip the cup over. I personally like to add scales to the bottom of my cup. This is totally personal preference, up to you if you want to. So I like to add double-sided tape to the bottom as well. right, now that we've got our cardstock ready to go, we can start putting them on. So I like to take my X-Acto knife and pull the backing of the tape off. I only pull a couple layers at a time, so that way you can still grab onto the cup. It's not all sticky. If it's not pushed down in some spots, you can just use your finger to push it down. And if you remember, I had a couple gaps right here. So what I can do is cut an extra piece of tape and just lap over it and layer it, so that way it's sticky right there. Now, like I said before, you don't want to go all the way to the edge, because then you have this curve and the card stick will stick out. It'll be a pain later. So I start right where the tape starts and lay my first piece. Make sure it's straight and aligned with the cup. Then when you go to add more, I don't overlap, but go right next to it, side by side, so that they're touching. These little points on the side are touching each other but not overlapping. And you're going to do this all the way around the cup. Now, because all tumblers get just a tad skinnier as you come towards the bottom of the cup, you're going to have a little bit of overlap on the scales at the bottom. So this last one is going to overlap both of these just a little bit, but that's okay, because as we go up, this is going to get wider, and so this will fit perfectly all the way around the farther we go up the cup. Now when we start on the next layer, you want to take your scale and you want this point to be in between the two scales below it. So this point needs to be right in the middle. You want each side point on this side and this side to touch these 2 points, like so. And you just keep working your way around the cup. Don't worry if you mess up, you can pull it off. The tape is pretty forgiving. You can pull it off and reposition it if needed. Another nice thing about the double-sided tape is this way I know I'm straight and level, because you can also use the tape as a guide. So all these points are about the same distance from that white piece. Nice little trick to keep it nice and straight. So now that we've gotten all the way to the top and we haven't put a piece of tape here, we're going to take this last piece of backing off. We're going to grab our tape and add one more layer at the top. Now the top is just like the bottom. You don't want to go all the way to the rim, but really close. side to the top. Obviously, if you put another piece, it's gonna hang over the edge. You can do it this way and go ahead and put them all the way around. Take a pair of scissors and trim it. But what I do is I have my silhouette cut pieces for me, so that way I know they're all the same size and straight. And I put these pieces along the top to get a nice clean edge. And it's just below the lip, so that way we don't have any issues when we put the epoxy on. it. Now you have a dragon scale tumbler. I know it looks a little intimidating and it's a little time consuming, but I promise it's really easy and it's so much fun to make. And now I hope you guys go out and make one. If you do, tag me. I'd love to see it. Tag me below in the comments or contact me on Facebook or Instagram. I'm all over the place. I'll put all the links below. And as always, please just hit that subscribe button so you guys can tune in for new videos. Thanks.